Hello, dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. Uh, we are back again with economics, chapter number 1, part 4. This is the last and the final part of this chapter. After completing this part, our first chapter will be completed. Okay, so without wasting time, let's begin. This is your teacher Sohil Gajjar. So today, the topic which we are going to discuss that is known as the production possibility frontier. It is also known as production possibility curve, or it is also known as a transformation curve. Now, dear students, we have already discussed that the resources are limited and they are having alternative uses. Okay, the resources are limited and they are having alternative uses. To fulfill all our wants, to fulfill all our wants, it's not possible because we have discussed that the resources are limited, and we have also faced what are the various central problems of an economy due to the limitation and alternative uses of resources. You might have remembered our first problem of central problems of an economy was what to produce. What to produce deals with the selection of goods and services to be produced in what quantity and in what combination so that the maximum amount of the economy can be satisfied. So we've discussed that there are three different types of goods: defense goods, capital goods, and the consumer goods. So what good we need to produce in what combination and in what quantity. So production possibility frontier deals with that topic only. So production possibility is a graphical representation of possible combination of two goods. Okay, two goods which can be produced with the given resources and technology. So in this topic, we are going to discuss that how we can produce the two goods, whether it be a defense or capital, a defense or consumer or capital. So what kind of good can we produce? How we can produce two goods with the given resources and technology. So before starting this, let me go through the various assumptions of this topic. Number one, the resources are fixed. For example, I have taken 10 labors as a resource. Now those labors are fixed. They are not going to increase, they are not going to decrease, they are going to remain fixed. For example, I have taken 10 labors, so that labors will remain 10 or they are not going to become 11 or they are not going to become 9. So resources are fixed. Resources can be transferred. For example, I have taken two goods. One good I have taken a defense good and consumer good. In defense I have taken guns, and in consumer goods I have taken the butter. Okay, so the resources which we are using making butter can be transferred for making guns, or the resources or the labors which we are making guns can be transferred for the making butter. So resources can be transferred from one product to another product. Only two goods can be produced. I have taken defense good and consumer good. In defense good I have taken guns, and in consumer goods I have taken butter. Resources are fully and efficiently utilized. Whatever the 10 labors I am using as a resource, all of them are fully and efficiently utilized. None of them is unemployed. All of them are working for 8 hours. They are daily coming. None of them is remaining absent. Okay. So resources are fully and efficiently utilized. Fifth, this is one of the most important assumptions of production possibility frontier. Resources are not equally efficient in production of all the products. The labors which are making guns, they are expertise in making guns, they are not expertise in making butter. The labors which are expertise in making butter, they are not expertise in making guns. So resources are not equally efficient in production of all the products. This is one of the most important assumption. Based on this only our whole PPC is there. I will give you a simple example. My name is Sohil Gujjar and I am a commerce teacher. I can teach all the commerce subject with a full expertise. I am a resource, I am a teacher. Okay. Now, for example, our principal sir told me that Mr. Sohil Gujjar, from now onwards, you have to teach science stream also, science stream students also, chemistry, maths, bio. Wow. I am expertise in commerce field. I cannot teach the science students. For teaching them, I have to prepare myself. Then only I can teach them. So, though I am a resource, though I am a teacher, but I am not expertise in both the stream. I am expertise in commerce stream only. I am not expertise in the science stream. In the same manner, a science teacher cannot be shifted to the commerce stream. Clear? So resources are not equally efficient in production of all the products. I can teach all the commerce subject with very ease and with full concept, but I cannot teach all the science stream subjects, maths, bio, chemistry. My God, oh, yeah, yeah. I cannot teach them because for teaching them, I need to get myself equipped for it. When I'm not aware about all the concept, how can I teach the other students? So resources are not equally efficient in production of all the goods. So when I'm transferred from commerce stream to science stream, so there will be a huge loss for the commerce stream students, and that huge loss cannot be make up with the science stream students. The science stream students will not gain from me, will not gain from my expertise because I'm an expert of the commerce stream. I'm not the expert of the science stream. So resources are not equally efficient in production of all the products. Six, technology remains constant. There is no upgradation and there is no degradation in the technology. So technology remains constant. Clear? So these are the six basic assumptions of production possibility curve. Clear? Number one, resources are fixed. Resources can be transferred. Only two goods can be produced. Resources are not equally efficient in production of all the products. Technology remains constant. Clear? So before getting to this figure, let us discuss the schedule of it. Now you can see the combination A. This is the combination A. Here we are making, as I told you, I have taken two goods. One guns, the defense product, and butter is a consumer product. So I was having 10 labels with me. So if I will use all the 10 labels, maximum 21 guns I will prepare. How much? Maximum 21 and 0 butter. And you can see this combination G. If all the 10 labels will be used for making butter, maximum 6 butters will be produced and no guns will be produced. So combination A and combination G, these are the two extreme possibilities. These are the two extreme possibilities. If I will use all the 10 labels for production of guns, the maximum 21 guns I will be producing. If I will use all the 10 labels for production of butter, maximum 6 tons of butter I will be producing. Tons, whatever you see it. 6 butter I will be producing. But what was our assumption? We need two goods. Okay. Now what we are doing, we are transferring labor from production of guns to production of butter. Now this, look at this combination B. So if I want one butter here, I need to sacrifice the production of gun because labor I need to transfer. For example, 10 laborers were making guns. Okay, they are producing 21 guns. Now I want butter also. So I need to do the production of butter. So I have to transfer labor, those who were making guns for the production of butter. So when I'm transforming the labor, the production of guns will decline. As I told you, when our principal sir had transformed me from commerce to science stream, there will be a huge loss for the commerce, but there will be no on much gain to the science stream students because resources are not equally efficient in production of both the goods. Okay, so when I am transforming labor from production of guns to production of butter, the production of guns will start declining. The production of guns will start declining, and the production of butter will start gaining, but it will not gain at the same speed as they are declining in the production of guns because resources are not equally efficient in production of both the products. So here I have transforming one labor. So here I am giving one. Again, if I want more butter, I am transferring one labor from here. So you can see I am gaining one here. So what I am doing, I am sacrificing guns for production of butter. What I am doing here, I am sacrificing guns for the production of butter. How much I am sacrificing here? I have sacrificed one. How much I have sacrificed here? I have sacrificed two guns. How much I have sacrificed here? I have sacrificed three. How much I have sacrificed here? Four, five, and here six I have sacrificed. So this is known as a marginal opportunity cost. What is this known as? Marginal opportunity cost. To gain one, we need to sacrifice other. I am gaining how many butter over here? I am gaining only one. What is the difference? Two and one. It's one. Difference between two and three. It is one. Difference between three and four. One, one, and one. So I'm sacrificing one gun, I'm gaining one butter. I'm sacrificing two gun, I'm getting one butter. I'm sacrificing three gun, I'm getting one. Four, one, five, one, six, one. Okay, so you can see that I am sacrificing more guns and I'm not gaining the same amount of in the butter. Why? Resources are not equally efficient in production of both the products. Okay, if I'm transfer from commerce into science stream, there will be a huge loss for the commerce stream, but that same loss cannot be recovered in the science stream because I am the expert of commerce stream. I'm not the expert of the science stream. Clear? So that is the same thing it is happening here. So this is the number of guns I am sacrificing to gain one butter. That is known as marginal opportunity cost. Opportunity cost we have already discussed. Opportunity cost means the next best alternative foregone. Okay, I have gained here butter and I have sacrificed guns. I have gained one butter, I have sacrificed two guns. I have gained one butter here, I have sacrificed three guns. I have gained butter here, I have sacrificed four, one, five. This is the marginal opportunity cost. Okay, and you can see here it is MRT. MRT means it is the ratio at which one unit is sacrificed to gain other unit. Okay? The simple formula is units sacrifice upon units gain. I have sacrificed one here, I have gained one. So one divided by one, one. I have sacrificed two guns and I have gained one. So two divided by one, two. I have sacrificed three guns and I have gained one butter. Three divided by one, three. So there is the marginal rate of transformation. So it is the rate at which one unit is sacrificed to gain other unit. So production possibility curve tells that with the help of the given resources and technology, how what is the various combination of goods we can be produced. Okay, so combination A and combination G, these are the two extreme combination. If I will use 10 labors for the production of guns, the maximum 21 guns I will be producing. If I'll be using or 10 labors for production of butter, maximum 6 tons of butter I'll be producing. So these are the various other alternative combination which can be produced with the given resources and technology. Okay, so I am sacrificing more guns here and I am gaining less butter here. Why? Because resources are not equally efficient in production of both the goods. I am transferring more, but I'm sacrificing more guns and I'm gaining less butter. Clear? So now let us get back to the figure. Now, if all these points A, B, C, D, E, F, G are put on a graph, we'll get a graph like this. Okay. So you can see here this point. You can see this point A, 21 guns and 0 butter. I am on the x-axis. I have taken the butter, and on the y-axis I have taken the guns. I am sacrificing guns 18. I am sacrificing one here. You can see point B 20. This is 20, and this is one butter I am gaining here. I have sacrificed 3. This is point C and 2. So if you'll join all these points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we'll get a curve. That curve is known as the production possibility frontier. This shows the maximum level of output that can be produced with the given resources and technology. Now we cannot go outside this point with the given resources. We cannot go beyond this point. Okay, we cannot go outside this A B C D E F G with the given resources. That is 10 labels we are using as a resources. Okay, we cannot go outside this point until and unless we are having more number of labels. Okay, so with the given resources, we can be on the PPC or inside the PPC. Now, any point inside the PPC, for example, I have taken here point H, okay, or I have taken point here I. Okay, this point shows the underutilization of resources. You are having the resources, but you are not making the optimum use of resources. So any point inside the PPC, whether it be a point H or I, it shows the underutilization of resources. We are not using all the 10 resources what that you are having. So if you join all the points, we'll get a curve that is known as the production possibility curve. Okay. So it is a graphical representation of two goods that can be produced with the given resources and technology. Here, so this graph, the schedule, and the explanation. When all the points are joined, we get a curve known as a production possibility frontier. AG curve shows that is point A to G. Curve shows the maximum limit of production of guns and butter. Every point on PPC from A to G in figure indicates full employment and efficient use of resources. As I told you, whatever the 10 labels we are having, we are making the optimum utilization of those resources. There is no one is unemployed or no one is remaining absent. All the 10 labels are fully and efficiently utilized. Marginal opportunity cost is the number of units sacrificed to gain one additional unit of the other commodity. In case of PPC, MOC is always increasing. Okay, you can see here how much I am sacrificing. I am sacrificing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one is the MOC. Marginal opportunity cost. Marginal means additional opportunity cost. So I am sacrificing guns to gain butter. So the rate at which I am sacrificing, that is known as a marginal opportunity cost. In case of PPC, MOC is always increasing. In case of PPC, MOC is always increasing. Next is marginal rate of transformation. Marginal rate of transformation means it is the rate at which one unit is sacrificed to gain one more unit of the other commodity. Okay, what we are doing here? Okay, how much I am sacrificing here? I am sacrificing one. I am sacrificing one, and I am gaining one. Okay, so 2 divided by 1, how much? We'll get 1 only. How much I am sacrificing? 2. I am gaining 1. 2 divided by 1, 2. How much I am sacrificing? From 18 to 15. How much I have sacrificed? 3. How much I have gained here? 1. 3 divided 1, 3. Same case, 20 to 18. How much I have sacrificed? 2. And I have gained 1. 2 divided by 1, 2. Either you write 1 is to 1 or 2 is to 1 or 2 by 1, 3 by 1. They both are same. Same case, how much I have sacrificed here? 15 to 4. Sorry, 15 to 11. 4 I have sacrificed. And how much I have gained? I have gained 1 unit. 11 to 6, how much I have sacrificed? I have sacrificed 5. And how much I have gained? I have gained 1 unit. Here I have sacrificed 6. I have gained 1. So this is known as a marginal rate of transformation, the rate at which one commodity is substituted with the other commodity. Okay. Unit sacrifice upon units willing to gain. Characteristics of PPC. There are mainly two characteristics of PPC. Number one, PPC slopes downward. That is, to gain one, we need to sacrifice other product. We are sacrificing guns to gain the butter. In the same here, in this figure, we are sacrificing refrigerator to gain the car. PPC is concave shape. Why it is concave shape? Because MRT is increasing. What is MRT? MRT is the rate at which one unit is substituted with the other commodity. Now MRT is always increasing. Why? Because resources are not equally efficient in production of all the products. I have told you this is one of the most important assumption of PPC. The resources are not equally efficient in production of all the products. Okay, so that is the main reason why our MRT is increasing. MRT is increasing, That is the main reason why our PPC is concave shape. Okay, so PPC slopes downward due to increasing MOC, marginal opportunity cost. We are sacrificing guns and we are gaining butter. That is known as a slope down from left to right. PPC is concave shape. Why? Because MRT is increasing. Why MRT is increasing? Because resources are not equally efficient in production of all the products. Now, attainable and unattainable combination. Now, any point on or inside the PPC are known as a attainable combination. Any point inside or on the PPC are known as the attainable combination. You can see here point B. Okay, this point B shows the full and efficient utilization of resources. Example, 10 labors I am using, all the 10 labors I am using, no one is unemployed, no one is remaining absent. That is point B. Point A, this shows underutilization of resources. For example, after 10 labors, 3 are remaining absent due to sickness or due to coronavirus, COVID-19. They are not coming to the offices. So the production is not the same as it was earlier. Earlier, 10 laborers were producing 100 units. Now there are only 7 laborers will be producing 70 units. So point A shows underutilization of resources. I'll give you a simple example. For example, your board exam paper is of 100 marks. So how much you will go score? 100 out of 100. That is your point B. 100 out of 100. That is your point B. 100 out of 100 you will score. Okay. If you work very hard, okay. If you will do all your studies religiously, you will be scoring 100 out of 100. Now you are not studying properly. Mostly you are wasting your time in playing the PUBG or Fortnite or Call of Duty. I know these are the various games that you people are enjoying right now. So if you will not use your time religiously, you will be scoring only 60. That is 60 out of 100. So this shows that underutilization of resources. That means you are having the time, but you have not utilized that time for your studies. You are utilized for other things. Okay. With the point C, this shows 105 out of 100. So it is not possible. हाँ, it is not possible. भले तुम लोग एग्जाम में अप्सरा पेंसिल से भी लिखो. One ad was there. If you write with Apsara pencil, you get 5 marks additional for your handwriting. It is not possible. Okay. So with the given resources, we can be on the PPC or inside the PPC. On the PPC shows full and efficient utilization of resources. Inside the PPC shows underutilization of resources. That means if you work very hard, you work smartly for your examination, you will score 100 of 100. That is your point B, full and efficient utilization of resources. But if you will not work hard, you will waste your time in playing PUBG or Fortnite, PUBG, etc. So you will be scoring 60 or 50 out of 100. That is your point A. It is the underutilization of resources. And at point C, you will score only 100 out of 100. You are not going to score 105 out of 100 if you write with Apsara pencil also. Okay, so point C is not attainable. Now this all point ABC are done with the help of given resources, whatever the resources which you are having. Okay, 10 resources which 10 levels I was discussing earlier. With the help of 10 resources, either I can be on point B, that is full and efficient utilization of resources, or inside PPC that is point A. I cannot go outside the PPC. Clear? So attainable combination are your point A and B. If you there will be full utilization of resources, you will be on point B. If there will be underutilization of resources, you will be under at point A. And point C is unattainable. With the given resources, we cannot go outside the PPC, because what PPC shows full and efficient utilization of resources. And whatever resources which you are having, we need to make the optimum utilization of those resources, as we have discussed in the assumption. There is full utilization of resources, there is efficient utilization of resources, no laborers are unemployed, or no laborers are remaining absent. Clear? So any point on the PPC shows full and efficient utilization of resources. Any point inside the PPC shows underutilization of resources. We cannot go outside the PPC with the given resources. They can go outside only when our resources are increased. Okay, so that will be discussed in the next slide. That is known as a shift in the PPC. Okay, shift in the PPC when there is change in production capacity with respect to both the goods. And second is rotation when there is change in technology of only one good. Now, for example, I'll write the text over here so it will be very possible for you. For example, I was having 10 labors, right? And with the help of 10 labors, maximum 21 guns I was producing, and 6 tons of butter I was producing. So this was our example which I discussed earlier. So I am giving this point A and point B as shown in your figure. Okay, so this is our point A and B, curve A and B as shown in your the figure. Now what happens? Suddenly there is an increase in the resources. My resources now are increased. 10 labors I am having. Okay, population increase, so workforce increase, and I'm having now 10 more labors, additional labors I'm having now. Now what will happen? Production of both the goods, production of guns and butter will ultimately increase because now I'm having more resources with me. I'm having more labors with me. The earlier topic which you have discussed, attainable, unattainable, that is due to the with the given resources. With the given resources, I cannot go outside the PPC. Okay. Now, but when the resources are increased, now earlier I was having only 10 labors. Now I'm having 10 additional labors. Total labors, how much I'm having? 20 labors. That means the production of both guns and butter will increase. I can say that production capacity of both the products will now increase. So I'll be shifting upward, that is A1 and B1 I'll be there. Okay. You can see on the graph A1 and B1 I'm having. A1 and B1 I have shifted. Okay. So this is known as a rightward shift in the PPC, upward shift in the PPC. This happens due to growth of the resources. When there is a discovery of new resources, when there is an investment of additional capital from the abroad, okay, so our resources are now increased. When the resources are increased, production capacity of both the goods are going to increase. Earlier I was having only 10 labors, now I'm having 10 more labors, additional labors, so production capacity of both the goods will be increased. So I'll be shifting up, rightward shift. Okay. Another example, earlier I was having 10 labors, now I'm having only 5 labors. Now 5 labors are died due to COVID-19, due to coronavirus. Okay, now I'm having only 5 labors. So the production capacity of both the goods will now be decreased. So I'll be there in A2, B2. Okay, I'll be shifting downwards, leftward shift in the PPC. Now leftward shift in PPC is due to decline in resources or due to as we are using the outdated or degraded technology, so our processing capacity will be declined. Okay, so when the resources are increased or when there is a new capital or the new investment or new discovery of resources or we are using upgraded and advanced technology, our processing capacity will increase. Both the goods will increase. So we will shift towards rightward, or it is also known as upward shift. That is point AB to A1, B1. Now, if the resources are decreased, we are using degraded technology, or there is a loss of resources, okay, destruction of resources. So we'll be shift towards leftward, downward. From AB2, we are shifting towards A2, B2. Am I clear? So this is known as a shift in PPC. Now, rotation in PPC, when there is change in technology of only one good, there is only one good. For example, there is a technological improvement for rotation on the axis. For example, I have taken on axis we have taken the guns. Sorry, butter we have taken. So there is a technological improvement for butter. So the production of butter will increase from Q to Q1. but there will be no change in the production of guns. Okay, so when there's a technological improvement with respect to only one good, so there will be a rotation in the PPC. So if the technology improves for butter, so we'll be there from Q2 to you can see here we'll be there at from I clear this. Okay, we'll be there at from Q2 Q1 Q2 Q1. If the technological improvement for only one good, if the technology improves for butter, we'll be there from Q to Q1. Now, if the technology improvement for guns, that is, we have guns, we have taken guns on the y-axis, so we'll be there on A to A1. This is your point A to A1. Clear? So shift in PPC happens when there is change in with respect to both the goods. It happens when there is a discovery of new resources, when there is a new investment coming in from abroad, when we are using new and latest advanced technology. So our PPC will shift towards rightward. Now, when there's a destruction of resources, when we are using degraded or outdated technology, we shift towards lightward. Production capacity of both the products will decrease. So leftward shift will be there. Rotation in PPC happens with respect to change in only one good. When the technological improvement with respect to only one good, there is rotation on the x-axis or rotation on the y-axis. If a technology improve for butter, so production of butter will increase. There will be no change in the production of guns. As the technology improve for guns, the production of guns will increase. There will be no change in the production of butter. Clear? Okay, so that's all for today. The admissions are still open. You can still inform your friend. You can contact on the school number or visit our website. Now, if you are having any doubts, you can mail me or you are already having my contact number. So our chapter number 1 is completed. Any doubt is there, you can ask me.